So England's always been going after people and their free speech, but now they're going to start coming after it on the internet, and other places around the world and even here in the United States are joining in. But let's look at something that's even weirder than that, and that is government paid trolls. These are people who are paid for by corporations and other governments to mislead the public or kind of guide them in a certain direction. First article is out of The Atlantic, the Kremlin's troll army, and it states, Anton Nosk, a popular Russian blogger and programmer who is sometimes referred to as the father of the Russian internet, says the Kremlin is falling back on a time-honored strategy in its propaganda war on Ukraine. But this time he says the stakes are higher than ever before. BuzzFeed reports that at least one trolling company, Internet Research Agency in St. Petersburg, is expected to spend more than $10 million in 2014 alone. So what is the typical life of a paid government troller?
Paid trolls.
Back in February 2011, a writer for The New Statesman did an interview with a paid government troll. Here's the headline. China's paid trolls meet the 50-cent party. Here's his first question. When and from where did you receive directives for your work? Almost every morning at 9 a.m., I received an email from my superiors, the Internet Publicity Office of the local government, telling me about the news we were to comment on that day. Sometimes it specifies the website to comment on, but most of the time it's not limited to certain websites. You just find the relevant news and comment on it. And then he gives 3 steps that he follows. You receive the task, you search the topic, and you post comments to guide public opinion. He actually says this, to guide public opinion. And he said at least 60 to 70% of the stuff he was given was on a local level, not national, but that's still another 30% to national or other international issues. Can you tell which online comments are by online commentators? Other words, paid government trolls. Because I do this, I can tell you at a glance that there are 10 to 20% out there of the tens of thousands of comments posted on a forum that are made by online commentators. That may not seem like much, but these guys are doing it every day, over and over again, citing different facts to guide people in certain situations. So people are going to see them as relevant sources of information and may even start siding with these guys for certain points. He talks about a case where he was guiding people to not complain about the price of oil rising. And he would come on and say, well, if you're too poor to drive, you shouldn't be driving anyway. To take people away from the argument that why is the price of oil rising and to attack him. Pretty insane stuff there.
Oh, there's more where that came from.
Yes, there are paid government trolls on social media, blogs, forums, and websites. This is by Michael Schneider out of The American Dream. A UK intelligence outfit known as Government Communications Headquarters, through a previously secret unit known as the Joint Threat Research Intelligence Group, has been systematically attempting to control, infiltrate, and manipulate and warp online discussions. Among the core self-identified purposes of JTRIG, or JITRIG, are 2 tactics: to inject all sorts of false material onto the internet in order to destroy the reputation of its targets, and to use social sciences and other techniques to manipulate online discourse and activism to generate outcomes it considers desirable. And it lists several things that they use, including false flag operations, fake victim blog posts, and negative information. All things you've seen out there by the paid government trolls. But here's where it hits home in the United States, and specifically with the Obama administration. Back in 2010, an article uncovered a paper that was written by Cass Sunstein, who was an Obama advisor. And it talks about, instead of calling it government trolling or government paid trolls, they call it cognitive infiltration. Here we go. Sunstein co-authored a 2008 paper titled Conspiracy Theories, in which he wrote, "The existence of both domestic and foreign conspiracy theories, we suggest, is no trivial matter, posing real risks to the government's anti-terrorism policies, wherever the latter may be." They go on to propose that the best response consists of cognitive infiltration of extremist groups, where they suggest, among other tactics, government agents and their allies might enter chat rooms, online social networks, and even real space groups and attempt to undermine percolating conspiracy theories by raising doubts about their factual premise, causal logic, or implication for political action. They also talk about using people from the outside, not seen with the government, but getting them to get in on the debate. Therefore, you could use them as experts and thereby discrediting different conspiracy theories. A good case in point is when Popular Mechanics came out and debunked certain theories about 9/11, where they said it was actually possible for jet fuel and office furniture to completely destroy 2 towers and destroy a 3rd tower that wasn't even hit by a plane. Happens all the time, except that it's never happened only in those 3 cases.
Oh, there's more where that came from.
So these government-paid trolls actually camouflage themselves into the certain personas that they make out there, and you actually think these are just regular people, but they're actually being paid to do this. That's the scary thing. In fact, they even have a playbook. They use lots of different tactics, and I'm going to get to those in 1 second. But here's a case, and this is out of Washington's blog. It's called The Secret Playbook of Internet Trolls, and it talks about how the group Common Dreams caught a troll using different internet usernames to create arguments and create dissent, in their articles. And the troll was identified as a Jewish Harvard graduate in his 30s who was irritated by the website's discussion of issues involving Israel. He posted anti-Semitic diatribes such as Hitler should have finished the job and killed all the Jews using one alias. Then a couple minutes later, he posted an attack on the first poster using a different alias, claiming the criticism of Israel is the same thing as anti-Semitism. Now let's get to the final thing, which is the different tactics that trolls use to create dissent and guide public opinion.
Miserable, no good, robbing trolls.
This is out of Washington's blog, How to Spot and Defeat Disruption on the Internet, 15 Rules of Web Disruption. Number 1, start a partisan divide and conquer fight. Number 2, pretend it's hopeless because we'll all be squashed if we try. Number 3, demand complete, foolproof, and guaranteed solutions to the problems being discussed. You've seen all this out there, and these are the different tactics they use. I'm going to continue on. Number 4, suggest extreme, over-the-top, counterproductive solutions that will hurt more than help. Number 5, and we see this one a lot at Infowars, pretend that alternative media are untrustworthy and motivated solely by money. Number 6, coordinate with a couple of others to shut down reasonable comments. Number 7, use an army of sock puppets. That's the government-paid trolls. Number 8, censor social media. Number 9, when the powers that be cut corners and take criminally reckless gambles with our lives and livelihoods, protect them by pretending that it was an inevitable result. Like no one could have known that the economy was going to collapse in 2008, except all the guys that profited from it. Number 10, protect the rich and powerful by labeling any allegations of criminal activity as being a conspiracy theory. Goldman Sachs gets caught rigging the markets. Hey, let's give them some bailouts because they had no idea it was going to happen. And if you think that those guys are in collusion with other giant banks out there, you're a conspiracy theorist. Number 11, avoid discussing key issues and instead focus on side issues. Number 12, use a straw man. Create a seeming element of your opponent's argument which you can easily knock down and make yourself look good and the opponent look bad. Number 13, hit and run. Make a brief attack at your opponent or the opposite position and then scamper off. Number 14, question motives. Twist or amplify any facet which could be taken to imply that the opponent operates out of a hidden personal agenda or other bias. Like he doesn't want fluoride in the water because he wants our teeth to rot, or because he hates dentists, or anything else like that. Not that it's actually a cancer-causing chemical that we put in our water and actually pay for it, and it comes from industrial hazardous waste. No, that doesn't matter. It's the fact that you don't like dentists or some other BS argument. And the last one, associate opponent charges with old news. So that's taking, say you have a new revelation about something and saying, no, that was already debunked. And that's my troll voice, I guess. I use that a lot around the office. No. Anyway, enough about trolls. That's ways you can identify them. And one way to a solution for this is when you see them using these tactics, just call them out. Hey, you're using number 14 of the troll rulebook. You're using number 3 of the troll rulebook. Let's put trolls in their place. Even though they are entertaining and funny to watch and funny to read about, they do cause damage out there, especially the ones that are government paid. This is Rob Dew with Infowars.